Welcome to Gospel Share Missions. 4 Fields Discipleship Multiplication Training. How to enter an empty field. This is tool number 1. The relational map. Lesson number 5. Page number 8 in your training manual. This is an outreach tool to make disciples. The relational map. It is personal. We are interconnected. It is not just global. It is not just local. It is also personal. We are all connected. Your relational network is one of the best ways for the gospel to spread and for you to learn how to enter empty fields. This appears to be an intentional and strategic method used by both Jesus and the apostles. In John chapter 1 verses 41 to 42, we see Andrew who brings his brother Simon to Jesus. The first thing Andrew did was to find his brother Simon and tell him, "We have found the Messiah, that is, the Christ." Andrew brought Simon to Jesus. It is personal. In John chapter 1 verses 43 to 45, we see Philip who brings Nathanael to Jesus. Philip found Nathanael and told him, "We have found the one Moses wrote about in the law, and about whom the prophets also wrote, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph." "Come and see," said Philip to Nathanael. It is personal. In Acts chapter 10 verse 24, we see Cornelius reaching out his relatives and close friends to come to Jesus. Cornelius was interconnected. In Acts chapter 16 verse 15, we see not only Lydia but also people of her household being baptized. Lydia was interconnected. In Acts chapter 16 verses 30 to 33, we see not only the jailer but also his household coming to Jesus. The jailer was interconnected. In your training, encourage those you are teaching to map out their relational network. Those in your network must be people you know who are far from God. These very people are gatekeepers to other people who are far from God. You do not have to be a theologian. We are all connected, and it is our responsibility to share the gospel in a simple way. How the relational map works. In your training, ask your participants to draw a circle in the middle and to write down their name. Then, tell them to draw circles around the middle circle and to connect with a line all the circles with the middle circle. On those new circles, tell your participants to think about people who are close to them but far from God, maybe friends, relatives, neighbors, co-workers, mother, uncle, a nephew, a colleague, people close to them but far from God. Ask your participants to write down these names in the circles. If they have more people connected to them that you know, ask them to draw other circles connected to them. Here is an example. In the middle circle, we have James. He has Martha, his aunt, who is close to him but far from God. Martha is married to Joseph, and they have 2 children, George and John. This family is close to James, but far from God. James also has Jim, his neighbor, who is close to him, but far from God. Jim is married to Laura, and they have a daughter named Rebecca. This family is close to James, but far from God. James also has Anna, his sister, who is close to him, but far from God. Anna is married to Mark, and they have 2 sons, Robert and Noah. This family is close to James, but far from God. Once you train your participants to draw their relational map, ask them to describe one another their relational map. Finally, ask them to be intentional on a praying plan for the people in their relational map. The relational map is tool number 1 on how to enter an empty field. As they start praying for the people in their relational map, let them know that with next tool, they will be able to find their person of peace. This really is exciting because it is personal. It is not just the preacher's job to share the gospel. We all need to share the gospel in our space and in our place because we are talking about multiplication. The relational map, tool number 1 on how to enter an empty field. There are empty fields all around us and we are on our way to know how to identify them. God bless you as you study this tool.